Jimmy Hoffa, Social Security, and the Jungle Cruise are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is July 30th, 2021. It is the 211th day of the year. There are 154 days left in 2021. It is the 31st Friday in the 31st week and the 40th day of summer. There's 54 days left until fall. If today's your birthday, you're a Leo, but you probably already know that. We got 3 days until National Coloring Book Day. That's a good one. Coloring books are fun, especially if you have a job where you have to sit at a desk and wait, which especially people in call centers and stuff like that, a lot of them color. It's kind of interesting. Today is International Friendship Day. International Friendship Day is a day to appreciate and promote friendship. One goal of this observance is to bridge the gap between race, color, religion, and other factors which keep humans from fostering friendships with one another. According to the UN, one purpose of this observance is to promote the idea of friendship between people, country, cultures, and individuals. And this can inspire peace efforts and build bridges between communities. International Friendship Day was established in 2011 by the United Nations. This day is observed annually on July 30th. All right, let's see what else July 30th has given us. (1916), the Black Tom explosion. German agents detonate 2 million tons of US-made munitions off the shore of Manhattan. These were supposed to be supplies for the Allies during World War I. This was pretty insane. Black Tom refers to an island that was in the middle of New York Harbor, not too far from the Statue of Liberty. It was basically a big trash heap. It's where they used it as a landfill for a long time, and that's just where they dumped all their trash. So this ship was kind of anchored right there. The explosion killed 4 people and destroyed some $20 million worth of military supplies. This incident, which happened prior to the U.S. entry into World War I, also damaged the Statue of Liberty, and it is one of the largest artificial non-nuclear explosions in history. The Black Tom explosion resulted in the establishment of domestic intelligence agencies in the United States. We didn't have much of that before this incident. A lot of people don't realize that Pearl Harbor wasn't the only act of war on American soil. You had several incidents like this over the years. Like during World War II, when the Japanese parked a submarine off the shores of Oregon and let hot air balloons go up with incendiary bombs on them, they tried to set Oregon on fire. I don't know if the Japanese didn't have a meteorologist back at the time, but it was just too wet. The rain was happening when they let these balloons up, and nothing caught fire. And then the Aleutian Islands, which are out in Alaska, one island was taken over by the Japanese during World War II. In World War II, again, a U.S. Coast Guard cutter right off the shore of New Jersey battled it out with a submarine where people in a New Jersey resort were watching it from the shore. That's how close it was. 1956, a joint resolution of the U.S. Congress is signed by President Dwight D. Eisenhower authorizing "In God We Trust" as the U.S. national motto. 1965, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Social Security Act of 1965 into law, establishing Medicare and Medicaid. 1971, the Apollo program. Apollo 15 mission. David Scott and James Irwin on Apollo lunar module Falcon land on the moon with the first lunar rover. And then they take it out for a spin and try and pick up on moon chicks. Just kidding. 1974, the Watergate scandal. U.S. President Richard Nixon releases subpoenaed White House recordings after being ordered to do so by the Supreme Court of the United States. 1975, Jimmy Hoffa disappears from the parking lot of the Red Fox restaurant in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit, at about 2:30 p.m. He's never been seen or heard from again. But we all know what really happened. Robert De Niro was ordered by Joe Pesci to shoot him in a house in Michigan. At least that was the gist I got from watching The Irishman on Netflix. 2006, the world's longest running music show, Top of the Pops, is broadcast for the last time on BBC Two. The show aired for 42 years. Any band that ever made it almost showed up on Top of the Pops at one point. We're talking everyone from Dusty Springfield, Dean Martin, Led Zeppelin, Elvis Costello, the Boomtown Rats, the Beatles, Brenda Lee, the Supremes, Joe Cocker, David Bowie, Fleetwood Mac, the Rolling Stones, Paul Simon, Fuzzbox, which is a obscure band, but in the 80s I really liked them. Bob Marley, years later his son Ziggy Marley. This list could go on, and it is ridiculous the amount of bands that went through here that you would know. If you get a chance, look up Top of the Pops bands, right? Just type that in. There's a whole Wikipedia page to it, and you will be surprised how many great bands went through this show. 2011, the marriage of Queen Elizabeth's second eldest granddaughter, Zara Phillips, to former rugby union footballer Mike Tindall goes down. 2020, NASA Mars 2020 mission was launched on an Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Space Force. I still think it's a stupid name. Space Force. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm going to be able to live with that. Is there a petition we could sign to change that? Space Force. Sounds like a comedy. Movies released on July 30th, today. Jungle Cruise. Okay, so it's one of my favorite rides at Disneyland. This one's got The Rock, Emily Blunt, Paul Giamatti. It looks like it's going to be really good. I plan on watching it later on today with my granddaughter. They have, Disney now has that thing where you can pay to watch it at home, just like you would in theater. It's a little expensive. It's almost like buying the DVD, but you own it digitally and you can watch it whatever. This is probably 6 months before it'll be released on Disney Plus, so it's kind of a good deal. I don't know if I'll be doing this for all movies, because there's a lot of movies I want to see in the theater, but this is a good option. And I'm sure it's going to make a lot of people go out and buy a lot of expensive TVs to get that theater feel at home. Born on July 30th, 1947, Arnold Schwarzenegger. This dude is the American dream. He moves here from Austria and becomes a world-renowned bodybuilder, 38th governor of California, giant businessman, marries a Kennedy, then gets a divorce because he was banging the housekeeper that's like 30 years younger than him. The American dream. Died on July 30th, 1992. We lost Joe Shuster, a Canadian-American illustrator, co-created Superman. He was born in 1914. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a very productive day. Be nice to each other.